Well, the weather's changed. We had 17, 18 degrees last week. I'm going to open them up. I was late. Hi guys. I was late back from work yesterday, and the weather was rubbish anyway, so they didn't get any. Didn't get to fly out, so they've been in for the last few days, really. Right, sort them out some water. I'm obviously late. I didn't get to move their feed either. That shouldn't be in there. So I'd really like to get these out, but the weather's just too cold and overcast. I wanted to do some more trap training with them, so I'll just have to wait until it warms up a little bit, which is it'll no doubt be Sunday. We don't really want to be letting them out on Saturday, because the first race starts this Saturday. Not that they go that far, and I don't think there are many flights over us, but generally, as a rule, with your young birds, you're not meant to let them out on a Saturday, just in case they get mixed up with other people, either exercising theirs or racing theirs. And also, with it being quite wet and cold, it's below freezing last night, it's not a great idea to let them out in the rain, if they get wet and then they've got to come back in here, and they're still really young, so it makes sense to just hold them in for a little bit longer. Right, so I'm going to do some trap training today. It's a bit windy and quite cold, but it's a lot better than it was earlier. So I'm just going to show you what I do, or what I've done so far. It might work, it might not today, I'm not sure. The birds haven't been out for a couple of days because the weather's been a bit rubbish, so I'm going to let them out anyway, and I'll explain what I do before I try and trap train them, before I get them in. The basic principle is to let them out when they're hungry. That doesn't mean I'm starving them, it just means I don't let them out after they've had their food, after they've had their dinner or their feed. So I try and do it in the afternoon. I generally feed these about 4 o'clock, so I try and let them out at 3 if I get home from working time. So what I'm going to do now is I'll let them out, have a bit of a fly, and they'll know when it's time for food, and they know how to get in. I've got 2 age groups in there, or 3 actually. I've got the 2 older ones, and then there's a batch of birds that are about 4 or 5 weeks old, and then some others that are just over 3 weeks, and so they'll be a bit slower. They might not even come out actually. So I've got this tin which I've filled with seed, and just glued it shut, taped it shut, and I'll give this a rattle. They know when they hear this rattle that it's time for lunch, so I'll just move this here for now. The other thing I do is open the slider so that they can get in through the trap. Most of them know how to use this trap now again, so that should be quite good. I'll open this door, the aviary, and then these 2 will come out first, as they always do, and then the others will follow, and we'll see how they get on. Okay, so the wind's really picking up, so I'm just going to shut these guys in. Those ones are the younger ones. Then we're going to get these to come in through the bob wires, and they should all do it. They haven't really had a fly around, but it's so windy I don't really want them to, so I'm going to give this a shake. I'll put the feeder on the floor. If I shake this, whistle, put the feeder on the floor and give them some food, you should see them all coming in through the bob wires. So let's see how much encouragement they need. They're all down. Well, it worked with the ones that have done it before. Well, they're not interested at all, they want to be outside, don't they? See ya. Well, that didn't work. One of the things I've been told is if they don't come in within 2 minutes, you shut them out. But I'll give them a little bit longer because they are really quite young. I'll take some of this. There you go. There you go. One more. I think these ones are have never been out before. That one. You're young, aren't you? There you go. Is that all of you? Right, that took a bit longer than I expected. So some of them have really managed to get their fill. Who's this fatty here? Look at you. Well, I think you've been eating too much. You're the bully, aren't you? Well, what time is it? It's 2:30, so we're 2 hours early. I'm feeding them 2 hours earlier than I normally do. They haven't been out for the last couple of days because the weather's been so bad. So maybe they just don't have the appetite, but they are still growing, so you'd assume that they are, but there we go. But that's how I do it anyway. Not the greatest example of well-trapped trained birds. Normally they're a lot better, but usually they have a bit of a fly around, so they burn off a bit of energy and they come in a bit quicker. But again, I've only been doing it for a week and a half, maybe 10 days, something like that with the first one. Some of these have never been out. Right, well, that didn't go as well as I hoped it would do. The wind really picked up then. They're all in now anyway, but usually what happens is I let them out when I get back from work, which is about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I let them out for an hour, half an hour, an hour, then shake the tin. I've been doing that for the last 10 days. Shake the tin, whistle, and because they're hungry, they haven't eaten all day, they come straight back in. Only half of them came out earlier and they went straight onto the aviary roof and then didn't really want to come back in, but you know, the wind's starting to pick up again, bits of snow in the air, so not the best day to trial it, but I think the principle is there. I just need to keep working on that and get them used to coming through those bob wires. And some of them just don't care about the bob wires now. The ones that have done it a few times, they've been through every day pretty much and they don't think twice. But then there are the others that might be their first, second or third time through the bob wires. They're still a little bit tentative, so we've got them all in anyway, so hopefully that just shows you what I do. And then yeah, just since I've had them, every time I feed them I shake the tin, I put the blue feeder down and I whistle, and I do that even when they're eating, just for the first 4 or 5 minutes. I've stopped doing that now so much. I should probably carry on, judging by that performance. And then the other thing is to keep my eyes out for sparrowhawks, and we haven't been hit yet. My hope is that I can get them flying. My hope is I can get them flying before they my hope is I can get them flying before the sparrowhawks really know we're here, and it might happen. There they are now, just eating the remains of the feed. So there's going to be some hungry birds in there tomorrow, so we might have a better performance, hopefully. Try again tomorrow, shall we? When the weather's a little bit better. It is very, very cold. Anyway, that's it. It's too cold for me.